Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Catherine, and I'll be the coordinator for this particular session. Please, I urge everyone to pay attention as our host welcomes the second speaker for today. Over to you, ma'am.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, most learned senior. Thank you very much for your time and your sacrifice in joining us here today. We are most grateful to you. Very shortly before you come on board, I'll be reading your profile. Thank you very much, Ma. We're most grateful for your presence here with us today. All right. Today we have Mrs. Chinyere Okorocha with us. I'll be reading her profile. Chinyere is a partner and head of sectors at Jackson, AT and Edu, a top-tier law firm headquartered in Lagos, Nigeria, and has over 29 years practical experience covering varied areas of law, along with hands-on experience in business, leadership, strategic thinking, vision setting, and problem solving of clients' diverse needs. Her role also extends to responsibly for the firm's strategic vision and implementation of same along 6 sector lines, and she also aids with the policy making and execution of appropriate strategic decisions to ensure the overall growth and sustainability of the firm. Having started her career immediately after school and now at the pinnacle, Chinyere has surmounted the challenges associated with building a successful career, attaining a work-life balance and embracing the necessary diverse role changes along the way. She speaks regularly at workshops, seminars, and conferences, both locally, internationally, on varied topics of interest. With a passion for assisting young people reach their full potential, particularly in the workplace, Chinyere founded and runs a mentorship program called Hills and Ladders, where she provides inspiring and motivational guidance and career mentorship for young women climbing up the career ladder. An accomplished lawyer, she is highly respected by her peers and over the course of her career has received numerous accolades and recognition, including her recent appointment as Vice Chairperson, Nigerian Bar Association, NBA Women Forum, past council member and treasurer, NBA Section on Business Law. Chinyere is a patron of the Law Society, Faculty of Law, University of Lagos, a member Dispute Resolution Panel, Nigerian Copyright Commission, and was recently nominated as one of Nigeria's 20 outstanding female lawyers in business law by Business Day newspaper, December 2020, as she is one of the 50 most influential women in the legal profession, Business Day newspaper, April 2011. She is ranked in Chambers Global 2016 to 2022 as a leading individual in IP in Nigeria, as well as is recognized as an expert in Who is Who Legal Nigeria 2017 to 2021. In 2021, she was recognized as one of the top 250 women in IP by Managing Intellectual Property. Very shortly, okay, ladies and okay, we all have ladies here. Thank you. That's the profile of Mrs. Chinyere Okorocha, and I'll just take a brief of our time, a little bit of our time, to go through the Hills in the Boardroom profile. Okay. We have the hills and ladders slides here, which the link will be made available shortly today while in the course of the discussion. Thank you very much. Join me and welcome Mrs. Chinyere Okorocha into our midst this lovely afternoon. Thank you very much, ma.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you, Deborah, for that wonderful introduction.
Thank you.
I have two devices on. One is my iPad and one is my laptop. So I would like you to make me host with the second one.
Very well.
Which, when I click on it tells me I can't, it says, no, you cannot start your video because the host has stopped it. Okay. So I have two devices. If you can please make me the host on the second one. Okay, you've still gone ahead on the other one. Let me co-host. Make me host on the other one, I beg you. That one will work better. Hello, everybody. I'm saying, you see, you keep saying join as panelists. Make the join as panelists come to the other side. It's not allowing me. It says, but I'm seeing myself, but I can't put on my video. It's not allowing me.
I'm working on that one.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Hey.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, ma. We're so honored to have you, most learned senior. Thank you so much.
I'm very excitable. Let me lift up the laptop. I am so excitable. Don't mind. This is how I am all the time. Hello, ladies. Yeah. How is everybody?
Welcome, ma'am.
Hey, welcome. Can I hear something in the chat box? Welcome me now. I want hearts. It's hearts I like. Either hearts or flowers. That's what I like.
All right, ladies, please, let's send lots and lots and lots. That's our most learned senior.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
More and more, please.
I'm so excited to be here, honestly. Thank you, Deborah, for inviting me. And luckily, I could find the thing about high achieving women is that they have to juggle their time. And you saw how I chipped in there that I'm a high achieving woman because I'm owning my space. I'm not apologizing to anybody for being a high achieving woman. I know I am, and so that's what I want you guys to be. Own your space. Women have been taught so much to kind of disappear. When you enter the room, you disappear or something like that. If you are going to be in this Deborah's tribe, you must learn how to find your voice, speak your truth. Don't apologize for being there because everybody is smart and intelligent, and therefore you have something to say, and say it you must. Okay, so I want to get a sense of who is in the room. Are we all lawyers, or are we law students, or have we done law school? I just want to get every one of you here. Can you please tell me, do we have lawyers in the room, or students in university or law school? Everybody is a law student. I see. Baby lawyers, so law school, law undergraduates, law graduate, law students. So not even law school yet, it's students, right? Okay, so that will help me know exactly what to discuss with you. So I'm going to give you, in an easier way to explain.
Few graduates.
Okay, a few graduates. I'm going to also give you a little bit of information about who I am. So I am 30 years post-com. 30 decades, 30 years. Yes, 30 years, guys. I became 30 years December. I was called to the bar in December 1991 time, and I have thoroughly so far enjoyed being a lawyer. And I'm so happy that I gave that career a go. In those 30 years, I have traveled to 31 countries in the world. So I have visited all the continents except South America. So I've been to Asia, I've been to North America, I've been to Africa, I've been to Europe, I've been to Australia, only South America. And I must go there. God calls me home. I am married. I've been married for 25 years. This year will be my 26th year. And I have 3 young adult children. My first daughter is 24 years old and my last is 16 years old. I've been practicing law all my life. I haven't done anything else. I mean, I have other things I do, but in terms of a career, it's always been, I've been a lawyer and I love being a lawyer. And the area of the law that is my specialty is intellectual property law. But I've chosen not to speak to you about intellectual property law today. I'm going to speak to you about your career, you know, and the challenges that you are probably going to face as a woman when you start your career. In terms of accolades, 2 years ago, Business Day came out with a list of 20 female lawyers in Nigeria who are the top 20 business law female lawyers in Nigeria. I happened to make that list, top 20 business lawyers in Nigeria under the women's section. Many a time I have been received accolades for being one of the top 100 lawyers in Nigeria. That is general lawyers, both male and female. And I'm always on the list of female lawyers, top 50 in the country. I'm also part of the top female professionals now. This isn't lawyers, but female professionals. Chambers Global is one of the international recognitions that lawyers usually receive. And I have repeatedly been in Chambers Global for, wow, maybe since 2013 or something like that. You know, so if there's anybody that can speak to you about this, your career called law, I mean, those are my credentials. I'm now in the law firm of Jackson, Etty and Edu. I rose through the ranks in that firm. I'm one of the founding members of Jackson, Etty and Edu. And if you know anything about legal practice, you know it's one of the top 10 law firms in Nigeria. And I was there when we opened file 001. And today, I mean, when we started the firm, we were just 6 lawyers, but today we're about 65 lawyers, 11 partners, support was 200 strong. So by way of the size of law firms, you would categorize us as a large law firm. You know, so I've seen it all, ladies. I've grown through the ranks. When I started with my firm, I was a young lawyer, you know, and now I am an older lawyer. I don't want to say I'm an old lawyer. So what do I want to talk to you guys about today? Because we tagged it a fireside chat. And I truly wish I could see, you know, so that I love to interact when I'm speaking, but that's okay. That's not the format for today, because I want to share with you my career journey. I think that's even more important to you than the PowerPoints that I will also share. But I just want to share with you my own career journey. And in that journey, you will see lessons. If you have your pen, you'll be picking out the lessons, you know, when you are going along. So flashback to 1990, I was in law school and they told us to do law office attachments. And my sister happened to know someone in a law firm called Bentley Edu & Co. She spoke to one of the partners there and they allowed me to do law office attachment there. And so when it was time to do my my youth service, I went back to that firm and asked them if they will have me. And they said yes. Lesson number one is to do it to the best of your ability, because other opportunities may flow from there. If I had done my law office attachment and hadn't made any impression there, do you think they would have taken me for youth service? Put it in the chat box. If I had a law office attachment, is it not just 2 weeks or how long it is? But in that period, I was able to make an impression. Tell me if I hadn't made an impression, interactive, write it in the chat box. If I hadn't made an impression, when I went back to ask for service, would they have taken me? And the answer is a big no. So whatever you're given to do it to the best of your ability and shine brightly. Everybody type in shine. I want you to shine everywhere you are. Shine brightly, because a light is not meant to be hidden under the table. It is meant to be put on top of the lampshade. It's in the Bible, and you shine forth. Do you understand? There is no room. I went for a conference in Abuja. I was in Abuja most of last. Next to me said, madam, once you enter the room, everybody notices. And I say, yes, it's called executive presence, and you learn about it. So that when you step into the room, people notice and want to come to you to ask you something. People like to be identified with success. So they must have seen something in me at that time to make them take me for youth service. And it was a big firm in those days. So in that firm is where they used to do intellectual property there. And that's where my love for intellectual property started. Intellectual property is basically the names on products and services that are offered to the public. And they're all around us. Like this bottle of water I have here, it says any water. Or my phone that says is an iPhone, that's a trademark. So there are different types of intellectual property. I was fascinated by the fact that when I go out in the road, I'm in the bus, that's what I used to take to work then. Yes, when you enter the bus and you're going on the street, you see the big billboard, and I see Coca-Cola here, and I see Pepsi there, I see Samsung advert, and it was all around me. And I was fascinated by the fact that you could actually have a product and have some economic benefit from it. And so that was where I started with IP, and I have been practicing IP law for 30 years. It's still interesting, and I'm still learning new things. The conference I went for talked about geographical indications, which is a part of a trademark. It's not a trademark, it's a type of IP that you can use. You must link it to a particular geographic area. So like Ijebu Gari on Soka Pepe, or Kilishi, or Abakiliki rice. So those things, there's a type of intellectual property that protects them, you know, and we don't have those laws in Nigeria. So the conference I went for, I was part of the experts they called in to review the work of the working group that is trying to develop a law for it in Nigeria. So IP continues to unfold. I find it ever so interesting, and it touches every area of our life, but I digress. So I started working in that law firm, and I made a difference. But very early in my career, I had a sense of who I wanted to be. And that sense of my upbringing, because even though I was born in the UK, my parents came back to Nigeria in the 80s. 80s? No, in the 70s, perhaps. Yes, in the 70s. And when we came back, things were really hard. You know, my dad still had to go back to school to try and get his law degree, his law passing the bar in the UK. My mom worked so hard. You know, she was a teacher, and she used to bake. She used to be a mixed teacher, you know. So those things shaped me. So that when I entered the workforce, all I ever knew was that people go to work and earn a salary. I didn't grow up in the form of learning how to do business, because it became a core value to me that I must work. And that helped me when I started work, because I knew I wanted to succeed. For me, failure wasn't an option. I didn't want to have to beg for bread. I wanted to be financially stable, and everything I reflected that financial independence was important to me. So that's lesson number 2. The next one is that there was one lady that used to work in the building, that is Knight Frank and Rotley building in Lagos. She was a lawyer to a lot of lawyers were in that building. It's like Marina, where you have that, what's that house where all lawyers stay? So this lady used to come to the law firm where I was working. She was so well put together. Slim, she will make up. She used to wear mostly blouses. That's not shirts, blouse with the very fabric. And they tie her belt. They should did her hair, did her nails. And when she entered the room, people looked. So till today, that woman doesn't know she was my mentor. Was mentoring me from afar because I saw her as an image of what I wanted to be. I saw many types of lawyers around me, didn't care about those that didn't do anything to make themselves stand out, those that couldn't even hold a sentence together. But that's not what I wanted. Once I had seen that woman, I always used to watch her, watch what she was doing, follow her aggressively. So point number 3, find somebody who has walked the path that you want to walk. And then you take the good things from that person that you are seeing that you like. Don't become that person. Thank you so much, Name Matt, is it? Name Matt. No, don't copy the person, but imbibe those things, because you must retain your authenticity even though you have a mentor. So that woman mentored me for a while. I said one day I will find her and tell her I never even spoke to her. I mean, I only spoke to her in terms of the context of work, but I never got to tell her that she had been such a positive influence on me. And so next, so I practiced this law. I was a young girl out of school. That was 1991. I worked for 5 years. I was confirmed I finished my youth service, and then they retained me, of course. And then I worked there and I did good work. I overheard someone talking about me one time within that law firm, and she was telling another partner, this was smart too. The assignment I gave her, she over-delivered. Do you understand? They weren't telling me, but I overheard them saying it about me. My question to you is that when people are talking about you behind your back, what will they say? Everybody type in, what will they say? What impression are you creating about yourself, even as a student? Are you standing out? Type in, what will they say? Yes. You know your name? Are you one of the ones that in class, you will go to the backbencher, or you want to hide, you don't want them to ask you any question? Or are you standing out from the crowd? To get ahead in this life, you must stand out from the crowd. But mind you, whatever you are given to do, you must do it well. You must learn those things they're teaching you and be able to do well in school so that you get a good job. So that was me. Now we don't talk today about personal branding, but everybody has a personal brand. A personal brand, Jeff Bezos says, is what they say about you when you're not in the room. So you have to be conscious of the fact that whether you want brand or you don't want brand, you have one. And you have to take care to change people's perception of who you are. If perchance you have done something that gives you a negative brand, then you work hard at correcting it and you create the impression you want people to have about you. The journey continues. I was working very well. When the promotion I get and all that, then what happens to most women? One man came and found me. Everybody type in one man. Type in one man. Everybody type in one man. You know what happens to women now? One man, yes. He came and found me and said he wanted me to be his wife. But therein lies the dilemma for women, because once you marry, you're now not thinking about only yourself, you're now thinking about a man. And in the African context, marriage is another ball game altogether, because it's like the man is like having a child. So not only are you taking care of yourself, you're taking care of the husband, do you understand, and the home. So whereas I could cope with everything beforehand, whether I eat or I'm fine, go from work and eat. But once the man enters the house, you have to cook, you have to clean, you have to look after him. The mother-in-law will come, the relations will come. So it was a bit of a transition for me. And who can tell me after marriage, what happens? Let me see if you guys are listening. After marriage, what usually happens? Children, thank you. So the children started coming. My first daughter, oh my goodness.
Good afternoon, everyone. Please indicate if you can hear me, so I know if it's just the speaker. Yes, okay. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Please, let's just exercise a little patience and wait for our speaker to come back. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma, we can. Welcome back.
Okay. Yes, I'm not a silko. Bring the fan. I'm not a learner silk, and I need to raise this up. I'm on my phone now because they took my light.
Senior, yes, ma'am.
Oh, senior. Okay. Yes. So my apologies for that. I've had to change my location. Okay, so what was I saying? Children, yes, the children started coming. And so once the children started coming, it was very difficult for me to adapt. And the job I was doing then sent me, because I was good at what I was doing, they sent me abroad
So these 31 countries that I say I have visited in this world, it was all to do with the places I have worked, because the type of law, that is intellectual property law, that I was practicing, they send you abroad for conference. So I used to travel when I was married, early married then, and when I'm traveling, you know, I have to take permission from my husband, although when I was single, I didn't have anybody to take permission from. So when the children now started coming, you know, I knew that I wanted to remain a career woman. It was very important to me. Do you understand? And, you know, but I mean, pregnancy. And I was so interested in making sure that the fact that I was a professional woman will not affect my children. And what was reigning then was breast milk only, that you must give a child breast milk for at least the first 6 months of their life in order for them to be immune from all childhood diseases. So after I had my daughter, she was 4 months old. Everybody write 4 months old. 4 months old, yes, exclusive breastfeeding. That was what used to reign then. So my daughter was 4 months old when I had to travel, or I was given the opportunity to travel for a conference. And of course, I really wanted to go, but I had just had a child. It was 4 months, and I had her abroad, then came back when she was 3 months. So I had just spent 1 month in the house. So what did I do? To show you how determined you need to be, ladies, if you want to succeed. Because just like, you know, women, you know, we're always getting the raw end of the stick. And I was determined that any opportunity that comes my way, I must be able to take advantage of it. I didn't want them to be, hey, Jesus. Oh, my phone has fallen. Okay. I didn't want them to give the opportunity to a guy. Do you understand? Some guy, I need my fan. You know, so anyway, and then another thing is the type of man you marry matters, because my husband, he has always supported me. So when I told him I needed to travel and I wanted to express the milk and keep in the fridge so that my child can continue to do breast milk only, he agreed. My parents have bought me a deep freezer for Idulo. If you're Igbo, you know when you're going to your husband's house, they'll buy you some household equipment. So I had a brand new freezer. You know what my husband did? He went and bought a generator. And if you know anything about children, if you keep breast milk in a freezer for 1 year without lights going off, it is fine. The child can have it. Then I went to get my mom. My mom lived in Aba then. I brought her to my house. So a month before the trip, I started expressing the milk into the bottles. Then 2 weeks before I traveled, my mom was there to take care of the baby. We started giving the baby the milk, the breast milk in a bottle to make sure she could eat. And I traveled. Remember, I wanted 6 months of exclusivity. So in order to reach that 6 months, I had to be able to still breastfeed the child when I come back. Do you understand? Because I was determined that being a professional woman will not affect my child, and that my child will not affect my being a professional woman. So when I traveled, I went with my breast pump. And when I go for the conference during the day, in the night, I stay in the bathroom and I pump out the milk. Because if you continue pumping, you continue to produce the milk. So I was expressing the milk into the bath in the, it's madness, not determination, because I don't know what gave me that kind of mind. When I tell this story, people are like, it's unbelievable. But I was so determined to stick to what was important to me, my core values. And I did it, sometimes crying and weeping. My breasts were so engorged. The pain, taking paracetamol. But to the glory of God, when I came back and put my daughter on the breast, she continued sucking. And she sucked way beyond the 6 months. So I was happy. I did my work, my child was happy, my husband was happy. Guys, women will deal with work-life balance issues, but you have to balance all the different areas of your life. It's important to me that I remain who I am, independent of who my husband is or who my children are. I must be able to forge ahead in things that are important to me. And that has been one of the foundations of my success. It doesn't mean I neglect my husband. What I do is I had recognized very early on in my life that I can't do it alone. So if you're a young woman here, go and get a house help or get someone from the village to come and help you in your house so that you can be a professional woman. Get a driver so that you are not in traffic day and night. That little that you take out of your salary that you think you're saving, spend it on making sure that you are happy and fulfilled, that you are able to be that professional woman, be a wife, and be a mother at the same time. I used to say that I run my house from anywhere, as far as it's on the globe, this planet Earth, China, Australia. There's one trip I went to, I was traveling for 3 days to get there. That was Australia, it's so far away. But everywhere I go, I call home. I travel with pictures of home. They are my inspiration. They keep me going because remember, I said, I want to be financially stable. And I tell you ladies, my husband is not a pauper. My husband too is very, very financially stable. But me, myself, I decided that I must be able to take care of myself to the standard of which I want, me and my children, irrespective of who I marry. And that pushes me to be successful. It pushes me to go the extra mile. And I'm here to tell everybody, write extra mile. Extra mile. I wonder at women who finish school and when they come out, all they want to do is marry and enter a man's house and nothing else. When you become a housewife and you're in the home, I tell you, it's different from when you have a job and you're even bringing in a little income into your home. There's a respect from your husband that comes with it. So build your career from the beginning, guys. That's the story. That's the morale. That desire to succeed has to come from within. It's not anybody that can teach you to have the drive. You yourself have to have it. I have some slides that talk about the career path of women. I call it Hills and Ladders, and it's a mentorship course for female lawyers in particular, and the things you come up against. If the slide can come up now, I'll be very happy so that I can just run through whilst also using examples. I don't know how much more time I have, but using examples also to show you where in my life I applied those principles, because I believe women are smart. In most universities and schools of education or higher institutions, women always come out top. Okay, women always come out top. We're the best graduating student in this, best graduating in that, best this, best get the scholarship and all that. And we know that every year, the same number of male and female graduates come out of law school. Sometimes the women do better, but once they come out of law school, immediately you see the men begin to rise in their careers. They become governors, they own big law firms, they get the choicest positions in the corporations, positions of authority, and the women will start lacking behind. So what is that thing that happens between when we graduated from law school and when we enter the career or the workplace or workforce? What happens? Why do we lag behind? And I'm here to tell you today that we are our own worst enemy. We are the ones that allow ourselves to be overlooked. We are the ones that allow ourselves to be to lag behind. And so I'm going to teach you today some principles that will help you to stand out from the crowd, because stand out you must. You must stand out from the crowd. Is someone going to put up my slides for me? Deborah, can someone do that?
Yes, we're trying to work on it. Short, just
Okay.
give us
Yes.
2 minutes.
Okay. Yes, we must stand out, ladies. We must stand out. Oh dear, I have a meeting at 3 o'clock. My reminder has come in. You know how we juggled and got this time in, Deborah. You know, so I also want to talk about being visible, because visibility, everybody type in visibility, because like I said, some women, you know, you guys that are in the classroom, sometimes you just don't want to be seen. And I think it's from culturally, women are seen or not heard. I remember one time I went to my village, and in that my village, when they're having a village meeting, women stay in one side and they don't talk. You dare not open your mouth. Then it's only the men that stay a different side, and they're the ones talking and taking key decisions. And I think because of that, because how we're brought up as women, it has affected us such that we're so used to be seen and never heard. Even to see us is a problem. Anybody that knows me knows that I am always well put together. I'm not boasting, ladies, but my nails, my hair, my makeup, what I'm wearing, my dress, hardly you see me without being well put together. And it's not just about makeup. It mustn't be about makeup, but it's about being well kept. And there's a reason for it. I believe that every woman must have a spirit of excellence. No matter where you are, you must be the best version of yourself, the best possible version of yourself. It's very important. So back to our cultural stereotypes. When we're bringing up our female children, we bring them up and we give them dolls and baby and feeding bottle. We give them ironing board. You give them oven and cooker set and broom and something, and they're always sweeping the house as children, taking care of the baby, changing the napkin, do you understand, or cooking for everybody and serving everybody. So it's imbibed in us. We need to lose washing plates. Thank you. What are the toys of the men? Put it in there for me. What do we give the boy child? Gun, aeroplane, aeroplane, car, train sets, kites, things that make nothing to do with nurturing. So women, we come up with that wanting to nurture, wanting to nurture and look after everybody else. And unfortunately, in the process, we sometimes forget to look after ourselves. So today I want to tell you, you need to look after yourself. Put it in the chat box. Look after yourself. Yes, we need to look after ourselves, women. Haven't you heard the story of the woman that used to toil? You know, she did everything in her house. She looked after her husband, her children, then she had a job on top. We were Superman with no Robin. What's that thing? Batman and Robin. Batman is the hero. Then he has a second that follows him around. That's the Robin. For women, we're Superman, we're Superwoman. There's no Robin, there's no second. We cook, we clean, we look after the children, we do homework, we do school run, we do parents, teachers meeting, only us. There's some men that are exceptions that listen. Then perchance, I know a woman, she now eventually died. She was doing everything. And when her friend saw her husband some months after she had died, he was in the golf course playing golf. And she asked him, how are you? How are the children? He said he employed 2 nannies, a cook, and a driver, 4 staff, to be doing what his wife used to do. And obviously, a few years after that, he was remarried. Women, look